With no namers, can I get a hallelujah? Oh, yeah. Welcome. It is time for liftoff. Let's go.
9, 8,
Come on,
7,
show with no
6,
namers.
5,
4, 3.
2,
Come on.
1, 0.
Come on.
Ignition. Liftoff.
We've got this, folks. We've got this.
30 minutes after the hour.
Cross your fingers. Come on. Get ready. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. And get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On radio. Come on. Let's go. Come on, folks. All aboard. It is time for another spectacular show with no name. A magical show with no name. And why is it magical? Because of you, show with no namers. Keep up the great work day in, day out. Día tras día. Keep up the great work day in, day out, amigos. I am proud of you. And yesterday, I was with Rob Grams from the Pro Bow Show. Also, the Lunchtime Show. And I've got to tell you guys something. We collectively, all of us here at Vaughn Radio, are extremely proud of our students. So, keep up the great work. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're doing a wonderful job. And that's not just my opinion. Also, amigos, remember, we've got a Vaughn Radio Trivia Night coming up. It's coming up on the 2nd of October. It is the anniversary of the show with no name. And we are going to have a blast, folks. Lo vamos a pasar bomba, you say. We are going to have a blast. It's at Roll Madrid, and it's kicking off at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. You can catch Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, hosted by yours truly. Yours truly es un servidor. All right, let's get started. I'll remind you of this week's question of the week.
Question of the week.
That's right, amigos. Question of the week. And this week's question of the week isn't one where you have to do a lot of soul searching. You don't have to dig, excavar. You don't have to dig deep in your soul to find the answer here. It's more of a personal preference. The question is, what is your favorite musical instrument and why? And we'll use this to talk about all different words associated with music. It's all about that bass, no treble. I'm all about that bass, no treble. Right there, we're learning a lot of words. Turn it up. You hear that a lot in songs. Turn it up. You can also say crank it up. Dale caña. Turn it up. Crank it up. So when the show with no name is on, crank it up. Turn it up. And again, a crank, it makes sense. A crank is, ¿cómo lo llamáis en español? Manivela. Crank it up. O sea, raca. Piensa dando vuelta una manivela. Crank it or crank it up. Dale caña, I think you would say. But don't be cranky. See how we play with words here? Don't be a cranky person. I love the word you use in Spanish. Cascarrabias. It's a great one. So, what's your favorite instrument? Like, every time you hear it, you're like, oh man, it gets me every time. I freaking love that instrument. I know my answer. I'll share it with you this Friday on Question of the Week. There's only one person who has participated so far, and that is lovely Laura. I know the rest of you are still thinking about it. You've got until Thursday afternoon to get me your 1-minute voice message telling me what your favorite musical instrument is and why. If you need to rehearse it, rehearse it. But this is a wonderful opportunity for you guys to vocalize, to speak, to use your spoken English every week and talking about different topics. So if you haven't participated, what are you waiting for? If you have participated, well, most of you, I think I can speak for everyone here, we have felt your progress. Because we just started doing this last season. Because we used to do Question of the Week where you would write in and then I would read it. But don't you think it's better to hear straight from the horse's mouth? Esto es una expresión que significa directamente de la fuente principal. So participate in Question of the Week once you've got that 1-minute voice message telling us your favorite musical instrument and why. You can send it to alonso@grupovon.com. alonso@grupovon.com. Also, if you have suggestions, I have some students who like to suggest double troubles or homophones. Please let me know. You can send those suggestions to that email too. And this way, well, obviously, what I can do there is use them on the show if I deem them appropriate for the show. And of course, I'll send you a little shout out in the meantime for helping the teacher prepare the content for the class. All right, well, amigos, it's time for another challenge. It's today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, amigos, welcome to today's pop quiz. Today's pop quiz, as always, comes from one of our amazing Vaughn materials that you can pick up at vaughntienda.com. Also, if you don't want to pick them up online, some people like to go in person. They like to look at the books. They like to leaf through them or to look through them as ojear. That's fine. All you have to do is stop by one of our offices in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. Amazing places where you can find Vaughn centers. Also, remember, you've got for courses, you've got grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. But if you want to stop in, that's a really great way to get to know your local Vaughn people, because I know we have amazing people in Madrid because I've worked with them personally. And there are other places such as, Zaragoza I've been to. I've got to be honest, I've been to most of our different branches, sucursales. So if you're in any of those cities, stop by. We've got a tienda, we've got classes, and you can just stop by and ask some questions. You can also get a free level test that's on the house, invitado de la casa. Well, because we need to know your level before we can even talk about what to do with your English. So that's such an important thing, to really get your level, because we're not going to put you in a Vaughan town if you're a level 1.5. You're not ready. You're not ready. It's going to be frustrating. It's not going to be worth your time or your energy. So, you got to be realistic, and you won't start any Vaughan courses without a level test. All right. So today's material we're going to be listening to is from a book we call False Friends. And I highly recommend you guys pick up this book. Why? Because once you know them all, you won't be fooled again. You won't trip over that same rock again, to trip or to stumble, tropezarse, you say, over that same rock again. And I think the most common one is actually and currently. And why is that so important? Well, that's the typical one you would use in a job interview. My actual job. What do you have, a fake one? Okay, actual is de verdad, verdadero. So you wouldn't want to say my actual job, my current job. So be careful with those false friends. We're going to listen to some now, and then as always, I'll have a challenge for you as well.
False friend inhabited no significa
Inhabitado. Nueva York está habitada por gente de todas partes.
New York is inhabited by people from everywhere.
Un comprador anónimo compró aquella isla inhabitada.
An anonymous buyer bought that uninhabited island.
Los ermitaños han habitado este bosque durante siglos.
Hermits have inhabited this forest for centuries.
Hace 4000 años, el Valle de la Meca era un lugar seco e inhabitado.
4,000 years ago, the Valley of Mecca was a dry and uninhabited place.
La isla estaba habitada por diferentes especies de pájaros.
The island was inhabited by different species of birds.
Hay una región inhabitada de las montañas que es maravillosa para hacer senderismo.
There is an uninhabited area of the mountains that's amazing for hiking. False friend intoxicated no significa
Intoxicado. Él estaba borracho de tanto beber.
he was intoxicated from drinking so much.
La comida caducada puede causar intoxicación alimentaria.
Out-of-date food can cause food poisoning.
Ella robó la cartera del hombre borracho.
She stole the intoxicated man's wallet.
Las setas intoxicaron al animal.
Mushrooms poisoned the animal.
Tras conducir borrachos, la policía los detuvo.
After driving while intoxicated, the police arrested them.
El restaurante recibió la visita de un inspector de sanidad debido a algunos casos de intoxicación.
The restaurant received a visit from a health inspector due to some food poisoning cases. False friend to introduce no significa
Introducir. Permítame presentarle a mi colega Daniel.
let me introduce you to my colleague Danielle.
Él introdujo la carta en el buzón.
He inserted the letter into the mailbox.
Ella me presentó a un grupo de chicas.
She introduced me to a group of girls.
Introduzca las monedas y espere instrucciones.
Insert the coins and wait for the instructions.
No recordaba sus nombres después de que nos presentaran.
I couldn't remember their names after we were introduced.
Ella introdujo su tarjeta de crédito en el cajero y tecleó su número secreto.
She inserted her credit card into the ATM and typed in her PIN number.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damián, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit. That's right, folks. False friends. This book is the shit. You can get Speak English, which is awesome. Speak English, we looked at it yesterday for all the different levels. You've got B2, you've got them all, folks. So check out vaughantienda.com. You will not be let down. And right in front of me here, I've got my first book where it all started for me. It's English Everywhere, Inglés en cualquier parte. And again, this is 40 different situations. You've got false friends in here as well, a little bit of everything. All right, so false friends, here's what we got for you. I want you to give me 2 false friends that you personally have stumbled on, right? We said tropezar, to stumble and fall, or the mountain should crumble to the sea. So I want you to give me 2. I already gave you actually and currently. I gave you those, so don't give me that one. And use them in context. Please. What I need to see is not just that you know the words, that you know how to use them in their natural habitat. It's true, though. Okay, so 2 false friends, and I think if a lot of you participate, we'll take a look at a lot of false friends here. And the last one, a bonus one. So there are three things I want from you, as usual. 2 of your air quotes, en paréntesis, air quotes. We say citas, paréntesis en el aire. Air quotes. 2 of your favorite false friends, okay? And the last one, we talked about intoxicated. This means to be drunk. What I want you to do is give me another way of saying somebody is drunk or intoxicated. We looked at the word buzzed yesterday, or to have a buzz. And that's just like right before you get drunk. You're a little giggly. You're a little lightheaded. You're not really drunk. You're just like, oh, wow, I'm feeling something here, right? We looked at that word in our homophones yesterday, buzz and bus. Buzz. Are you repeating them with me? Buzz and bus. So there you go. Those are your not your homophones, your pop quiz questions. I just gave you the homophones from yesterday. That's why I said homophones. So number 1, your favorite, air quote, favorite false friend. Number 2, your second favorite false friend. Use them in context. And the last one, give me a synonym for saying that someone is drunk. All right, there you go. Let me give you some false friends. I just shared it. If you're with us in the live chat, well, then you'll see I just shared a post that I shared recently on false friends. There's another one coming out this weekend. I'm doing, it could be more. Right now, it's a 3-part series on false friends. What does that mean? 3 memes, 3 images with false friends. And I released this one on my social media last week. So let's go over the ones I released last week. You'll have new ones this coming weekend that I'll be releasing, I think, Friday or Saturday. So, and then a third one, because, well, and who knows, I might even get some false friends from you to add to the list. In fact, the first one were my ideas, ones that I've seen and come across in my experience. The second one mostly came from students. And the third one is a mix of me and students again. So again, you guys are a huge part of creating this content, right? The first one, and one that's very common, is, I'll say it in Spanish. We'll see if you know it in English, okay? Él siempre ha sido, y vamos a ponerlo con una frase. Él siempre ha sido sensato. He's always been, porque he has, lo contraemos, he's always been sensible, not sensitive, because sensitive is sensible. So, él siempre ha sido sensato. He's always been sensible. Okay. How would you say, no tienes que ser tan sensible? You don't have to be so sensitive. You don't have to be hypersensitive. This next one, this is a huge one. Estreñido. Estreñido. How would we say, yo nunca he estado estreñido? That's true. That's not my problem. I'm very regular, like a regular verb, right? I've never been constipated. Now, how do we say constipated? Well, constipated is estreñido, pero constipado is to have a cold, right? How would you say this one? Siempre te voy a apoyar. I'm always going to support you. Okay, entonces, ¿cómo se diría no le soporto? I can't put up with him. So to put up with is soportar. To support is apoyar. Correct? All right, the next one. Lo he dejado en la alfombra. I left it on the carpet. I left it on the carpet. Okay? What about this one? Pásame o entrégame tu carpeta. It's not carpet. We just said it's alfombra. Hand me, to hand, entregar. Hand me the folder. The folder, porque se dobla. It folds. It makes sense. Hand me the folder. The next one. Tela. Vaya tela. No, that's an idiomatic expression, right? How would you say, esa tela me pica? That fabric is itchy. And una fábrica? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, right? I know you're familiar with the word factory. And the last one I gave you in this list is pretend. How would you say, a él le gusta fingir que está contento? He likes to pretend he's happy. He likes to. El tú no lo digo como tú, lo digo tú. He likes to pretend he's happy. All right, those are my false friends that I gave you guys. Again, I shared these on social media, and I just shared the link with you here in the group. I see we've got a lot of show with no namers here, rocking and rolling, on board and ready to participate. It's great to have you all here, eager to learn English and have some fun. Front row center, we've got the one and only Born to Iron Man. What's up, Born to Iron Man? I know you are ready to rock. There's no doubt in my mind. We've also got lovely Laura. What's up, Laura? She says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. Good morning to you, Laura. Let's see, Elena. Elena says, hello, friends and teacher. Hello, Elena. How are you? Welcome. She says, one more day, one more chance to improve our level and kick ass. That's the right attitude. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Elena and company. Well, folks, I'll tell you what. We're going to take a quick commercial break right now, and then we're going to take a look at your answers in today's pop quiz. We'll be taking a look at a lot of homophones, We've got our Say What soundbite as well. We've got our spelling bee. We've got movies, music, double trouble, homophones, and so much more. Lots of exciting things to do here on the show with no name. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hello, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to part 2. Oh, my goodness. Part 2 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. I hope you guys joined Rob Grams this morning on the Pro Bow Show. You've also got Richard Vaughn live in the mornings. By the way, I'll be having lunch with the one and only, El Mismísimo, the one and only Richard Vaughn. And you can catch him every day teaching you a master class here on Vaughn Radio. And right before this show every day, you have got Fitz and his master class called No Excuses. I'm telling you, I couldn't think of a better way to warm up for my show than listening to Fitz's show. I mean, he gets you in the right mindset. Your mindset is your mentality, the right attitude. As I said before to Elena, she's coming with the right attitude, as always. All of you, show with no namers. All right, we're going to kick off now listening to a famous person. Hopefully you guys will be able to figure out who this famous person is. But more importantly, I want to know if you can tell me what this famous person is saying in the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? All right, amigos, you Say What soundbite here on the show with no name. Say What soundbite. You're going to hear a famous person speaking right now, and the person's going to be, I don't know, I said the last two were easy, and they weren't, so I'm just going to shut up. You know, that's me and my big mouth. So I'll play it for you. As always, I want to know what the person is saying. Hopefully you can give me that after these first 2 listens. And then we'll see if somebody can get down word for word what this person is saying. Let's give it a listen. Everybody listen carefully. Here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
Well, I don't know if you're talking about Class A narcotics or prescribed pharmaceuticals. I mean, I have to say, back in my past, I used to drink a lot and do drugs, but I don't anymore.
All right, come on. Crystal clear. The guy even took some pauses and things. And, well, I think it's going to be easier than yesterday's and the day before. All right, is everybody ready? I'll play it for you a second time, and then we're going to check your answers in our pop quiz, and also we'll see what you guys have to say about today's Say What soundbite. Here it is for the second time.
Well, I don't know if you're talking about Class A narcotics or prescribed pharmaceuticals. I have to say, back in my past, I used to drink a lot and do drugs, but I don't anymore.
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. More information about Weekend Town over at grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. You can find out about Weekend Town, about Vaughan Town, about our masters, about our one-to-one flex, even online courses. It just depends on your needs, but we've got you covered. You can go to grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. Also, if what you're looking for is materials for self-study, that's vaughantienda.com, or stop by in person. We'd love to meet you. All right, let's see. Elena is participating in our pop quiz, giving us some false friends. And Elena says, I don't like the fabric they produce in that factory. I love it, Elena. You gave us 2 there, fabric and factory. So tela is fabric and factory is fábrica. I don't like the fabric they produce in that factory. Let's see the next one. She says he molested the minor and was reported to the police. Very good. Molested no es molestar, es acosar sexualmente. I'm surprised YouTube let you put that. It's a perfect example though, right? Molest. So he molested the minor and was reported to the police. Fantastic job, Elena. And the last one, the man was completely wasted last night. You got it. To be wasted. Man, I was wasted yesterday. That means really drunk. Yeah, great job, Elena. Wonderful way to kick off the show, kicking some ass, as you said. Let's see, Jaime. What's up, Jaime? How's it going? He says, I had vegetable soap for dinner last night. Ooh, man. Do you have a dirty mouth? Did your mother wash your mouth out? Yeah, that's one that a lot of people mix up. Soup and soap, right? The soap of the day is probably jasmine, de jazmín. But the soup of the day is probably chicken soup, right? So I had vegetable soap for dinner last night. Cuando debería ser I had vegetable soup. He's showing us the mistake that people make. And he goes, and I ate an Iberian jam sandwich for breakfast. Great ones. Jam and ham. Jam is another way of saying jelly, mermelada. It's not jamón. Jamón is ham, right? And we call jamón ibérico, we call it prosciutto. Sorry, the Italians were better marketers. They got there first. I know it's not the same stuff. You don't have to tell me that. But to Americans, any ham that looks like that is called prosciutto. Sorry, Spain, you got there late. Even though we know it tastes different. Laura, I'm sure you can tell us you've probably eaten both of them throughout your life. They're different, but to Americans, it's prosciutto. Yeah, I know. You can say Iberian ham, but I think they would understand prosciutto before that. So, wonderful job. I've heard that jam one a lot, Jaime, so great job. Laura, speaking of Laura, she goes, I was a bit embarrassed because I couldn't attend the meeting and I wasn't able to assist her. Triple threat. Triple amenaza. So she says, I was a bit embarrassed. Que no es embarazada. Embarazada is to be pregnant or to be knocked up, que es más jerga. We looked at that word yesterday. I was a bit embarrassed because I couldn't attend the meeting and I wasn't able to assist her. So yeah, to attend and assist. Man, those are common. I had students, Alberto, I can't assist the class tomorrow. I'm like, you don't have to help us. We got it under control. Right? And the mistake, there's another mistake that students make. I can't, even if they say the word attend, which is asistir, acudir, they say it with a to. And in English, there's no to. So write it down in your notebook. I can't attend the class, not attend to. Okay? So great job. Great. Laura, I love what you did there. She says, after my first glass of red wine, Chianti, I was already tipsy. Great word there. There's even a hip hop song. Everybody in the club get tipsy. Everybody in the club get tipsy. Tipsy. Well, to tip is volcar. So if you get tipsy, te pueden volcar. Hey, I love when things are ideas more than words. She says, I was already tipsy because I'm not used to drinking on an empty stomach. Fantastic job, ladies. Well, ladies and Jaime. Here's Chris Valrol coming in. And she says, morning, dear show with no namers. Morning to you, Chris Valrol. She says, in Scotland, they usually have carpet in their houses. Great carpet, alfombra, not carpeta. In the United States, too, and in England, I believe. I think it's an Anglo thing. I prefer carpets. You're asking for problems there. You know what I mean? It's easier to just have hardwood floors or some other floor that you can clean easier. Because I remember we used to vacuum, pasar la aspiradora. We used to vacuum, you know, every couple days. But then like every couple years, we would have to bring in a cleaning crew to do like a deep cleaning. Because, you know, it's carpet. Alfombra, moqueta, I think you say. So they usually have carpet. That's true. It's true in the United States too. Let's see. The next one, she says, since I can attend the class, I'm going to assist as much as I can. And the last one, he was plastered last night. That's a totally native too. Man, he was plastered last night. Wasted, plastered. Great ways of saying drunk as a skunk. Más pedo que Alfredo. All right, let's see. We've got Born to Iron Man coming in with some false friends. And he says, no doubt, sensitive and sensible are two of the most popular false friends. And you have to learn some of them by heart. A la memoria, we say por corazón, by heart. Do you have sympathy for the devil? And that's a great song. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste. And we looked at that one today. To introduce is presentar. It's not to present. To present somebody would be like, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Born to Iron Man. That's to present him. To introduce him and say, hey, Born to Iron Man, I want you to meet my friend Laura. I'm introducing them. And introducir algo is to insert, as we heard. I always love that one in the metro. Por favor, tengan cuidado de no introducir el pie entre coche y andén. Foot, platform. Platform, foot. Nice to meet you. Hey, that's what I always heard in my head. So it is a false friend, no doubt about that. Introduce there. Don't introduce it. Hey, I want you to meet the platform. He's a really nice guy. Just don't get stuck in the middle there. So do you have sympathy for the devil? There's a great one. Yeah. Somebody who is simpático is not sympathetic, because sympathetic is empático. It means you feel things. If somebody's crying, you feel their pain. If somebody's happy, you feel with other people, right? So that's a great one there. Sympathy. Es muy simpático. He's very sympathetic. No, he's very nice, or he's very kind would be the correct one. And the next one, are you canned? Drunk? I don't know. Canned. I don't know. When I think of canned, I'm not saying it's wrong, but when I personally think of the word canned, I think of fired. He got canned last week. Le echaron, to get canned. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that when I first see that word, that's the one that would come to mind. Let's see. Great job. Born to Iron Man as well. Laura says he was pissed, drunk in British English, and mad in American English. Absolutely. He was pissed. I'll never forget the first time I heard that one. It was an English teacher from England, and he told me, mate, you were pissed last night. And I was like, I was? And he kept insisting, oh yeah, mate, you were pissed. I'm like, really? But I don't feel like I was angry at all. And then I learned that pissed means drunk. They also say to be on the piss, de borrachera. He was on the piss for 3 days, mate. He's pissed. We also use it también cuando llueve, cuando cae la del pulpo, as you say, it's pissing down. Did you know that one? And what if I tell you somebody's a pisser? It means they're really funny. Dude, you're a pisser. Great word there, piss. Hey, I'm saying it means so much more than just, to go pee-pee. So, excellent. He was pissed, drunk. Now, if you want to avoid that problem, if you say pissed off, eso es cabreado en ambos. So, that's the solution. Because in American English, you can say, I'm really pissed right now. I'm really pissed off. Y significan lo mismo. Lo único es que en Inglaterra el solo pissed significa borracho. So always say it with off, and we've got a solution to our issue. Great. Glad that you pointed that out, Laura. Laura's also participating in our Say What soundbite, and she says, I heard the crystal clear voice of an American man admitting to having abused alcohol and drugs in the past. Absolutely. Laura, I couldn't have said it better myself. Excellent job there, Laura. Fantastic. Let's see. Laura also says, well, I don't know if you're... Oh, wait are you kidding me? Laura, you got it already? Are you some kind of AI, artificial intelligence robot? Unbelievable. Give it up for Laura. She not only summarized it, but she also gave us the Say What soundbite after the second listen, word for word. She is definitely the Say What soundbite siren. La sirena. Hey, I had to buscaba algo con ese. Right? So we've got our movie queen, we've got our spelling bee champion, and our Say What siren. Excellent. Laura, wow. All right, let's see. Chris is participating in our Say What soundbite. She says, it sounds like a movie excerpt. An American guy confessing he used to take drugs, but not anymore. Absolutely. A really native way, a totally native way of saying confesar is to come clean. He's coming clean. Great. Apúntatelo si no te lo sabías. He's coming clean about his past drug use. All right. Great stuff. Let's see. Elena says a middle-aged man, rewind. A middle-aged American ma'am coming clean about his past drug addiction. I love it because she put coming clean before I put it, and I didn't read it. So, Elena, you're reading my mind. The only thing is, you thought it was a woman because you put ma'am, senora, like madam, ma'am. So, yeah, she has a very deep, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, then she has a very deep voice over there, right? Let's see. Laura, your classmates are cheering you on. Te están animando a tope, and rightfully so. You deserve it. Let's see. Cristina. Chris says, Laura, you run rings around. Y hay que poner, bueno, Chris, me encanta que has usado la expresión, pero es perfecto, porque hay que poner contra quién al final. So, she runs rings around the rest of us, or around the classmates. Siempre hay que poner algo, but I love it. Dar mil vueltas. Excellent. To run circles around someone or to run rings around someone. Let's see. Gloria, what's up? She says she pretended to be deaf. Pretender. She pretended, fingir. I went to the library to buy a book. Library, no es librería, es biblioteca. Great one, Gloria. And I drank so much, I got shit-faced. Gloria, that is a totally native. Wow. To get shit-faced, that is a totally native one. Excellent job. Wonderful job there. All right. Elena says, good job, Laura. Did you take a shorthand course? Maybe. Shorthand is you can write like in code. You can write really, really quickly. All right. Well, my amigos, we need to move on right now. So we're going to go to one of our most challenging sections, the spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
All right, my amigos, here we go. We're going with today's spelling bee. This is, again, all the sections have, their je ne sais quoi, su aquel, if you will. But I have to be honest, this one here, if I have to choose one, is a doozy, all right? And the first time, I don't give a damn if you get it or not. Me importa un bledo. I don't care, mate. I'm that guy who's having a bad day, and I don't care. Now, why does he have to be British? No comment. No comment at all, my amigos. All right, is everybody ready? We are going to fly through the spelling bee. This is round one. Let's capitalize the first letter of every word. The first one is SERENA space JAMEKA space WILLIAMS. The second one is ORACENE space PRICE. The third one is RICHARD space WILLIAMS. The fourth one is SAGINAW, comma, space MICHIGAN. The fifth one is COMPTON, comma, space CALIFORNIA. And the last one is ALEXIS space OHANIAN. Excuse me, I'm totally out of breath right now. I can't go any faster than that, my amigos. Let's see if anybody got it. I just shared a link with you in the live stream, and that link is a link to the FYI episode on tennis. Consider it a clue, if you will. Now, the ball's in your court. You know that idiomatic expression. The ball's in your court. La pelota, el balón está en tu tejado. Comes from tennis or volleyball, right? Te toca. It's in your court. Está en tu campo. And we use courts for basketball. We use courts for tennis. We don't use court for baseball. We call it a baseball field or a baseball diamond. For soccer, it's a soccer field, although the British call it a soccer pitch. He's on the pitch. All right, my amigos, it looks like we might have a winner on our hands here. Let's take a look. Born to Iron Man is participating. And Born to Iron Man, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is also correct. The fifth one's perfect. Oh boy, here we go. And the last one is 100% perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your classmate, Born to Iron Man. He nailed it on the first go. Excellent job. All right, well, we'll go through that a second time. Plus, we've got homophones, movies, and so much more up ahead. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back. It's time for part 3 of today's show with no name. We're going to kick off with some homophones right now. Then we've got our Say What soundbite. We've got round 2 of our spelling bee. We've got movies, we've got music, and so much more up ahead. And right after today's show, you will be dazzled by my good friend Jimena Holiday and her program Test Your English, followed by my mates, as they say in England, Rob and Andy, and the Lunchtime Show. Tune in for a bit of banter, un poco de cháchara. So many amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio. And we're all going to get together, guys, coming up. Mark your calendars. It's the 2nd, I believe. Let me check my calendar. Gotta always keep an eye on this calendar here. Let's see, October 2nd. It will be the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. And we'll be celebrating 16 seasons of the show with no name, because it'll be the official anniversary of the show with no name. So mark your calendars for October 2nd, amigos. All right, let's take a look at today's homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 Show with no name. Show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It is homophones here on the show with no name. And here's where we look at words that may or may not sound the same. They're words that tend to confuse my students, or words that I hear mispronounced from time to time. And also, if they are homophones, then who knows? There might be a joke hiding in there somewhere. Algún chiste de algún tipo. All right, the first word I want you to give me, and I want you to tell me the 2 words, and then I want you to tell me if they sound exactly the same. The first one is pies. Pies. In my country, it's a measurement. Es una forma de medir. ¿Cuántos pies mides, right? It's also literally pies, the things you walk around on. So es el plural, no es pie. I remember the first time I saw the word pie. It was on the frigo pie, right? Because I knew the words when I was a little kid, the word pie. But I didn't know how it was spelled. I had only heard the word. So I remember when I saw the frigo pie, I used to call it the frigo pie. And I'm like, why do they call it a pie if it's a foot? American pie, pie. Hey, guys, I'm not kidding. But hey, that's how you learn. The once was the once, and rape, monkfish, rape. Yeah, some words don't look good when they're, translated. So the first word, pies, okay? The second word is an achievement, okay? It is, it's hito, logro, hazaña. También it says proeza. So I guess if you do acrobatics or something like that. So the first word, I think it's a word you're all familiar with, is pies. The second word is hito, logro, hazaña, proeza, an achievement. What are the words, and do they sound exactly the same? Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite here for the 3rd time.
Well, I don't know if you're talking about Class A narcotics or prescribed pharmaceuticals. I have to say, back in my past, I used to drink a lot and do drugs, but I don't anymore.
¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan Esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop. More information at grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. Also, if you are in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, stop by. We'd love to meet you in person. You can get a free level test and you can find out about all the interesting options to help you grab your English by the horns. All right, let's take a look at our homophones or not right now. Let's see. Elena says the words are and which are homophones. So she's like, you're not fooling me, dude. A mí no me vas a engañar. All right, let's see if your classmates agree with you. Laura says and are homophones. Okay, so that's 2 for 2 here, huh? All right, the third one. Chris Valrol says and are homophones. So wait, Elena, Laura, and Chris all agree? Does anybody care to disagree with them? I wouldn't recommend it. Let's see. Born to Iron Man says, actually, and sound alike. Well, I'm going to say both words, and you tell me. Feet. I just said both words. That's because they sound exactly the same. He jumped on his feet and performed an amazing feat. They sound exactly the same. Feet, whether it's with EE, which is el plural de foot, right? Foot, feet, es igual que tooth, teeth. Acuérdate que el patrón es igual ahí. O, singular, e, plural. So feet and feet are homophones. They all agree. Now, there's another word here, though, that there's another word here that doesn't sound the same, and I've heard a lot of students pronounce like it. How do you say the word me cabe? It fits. In fact, that word sounds exactly like my buddy Fitz, right? My buddy Fitz has a ring, un anillo, and it fits. So please don't say the word fit the same way you would say feet, right? So fit in forma. También es guapo, guapa. In British English, mate, she is fit. That can be in shape, or it can be está todo buena, right? She's hot. Que eso es un false friend también. To be hot in Spanish is to be horny. To be hot in English is está bueno or buena. Oh, she's really hot. He's really hot. So pronounce that one with me. Feet, I'm not worried about. I think you guys can pronounce that. It's that third word I just added. Let's rhyme it with some words. Fit rhymes with kit. Kit rhymes with sit. Hit rhymes with sit. Bit rhymes with sit. So if you can say that sound, then you've got it down pat. Excellent job, amigos. Also, Elena. Congratulations to Elena as well. She has participated in the Say What soundbite. There's just one little mistake there. Let me see. I'm going to check if Laura made the same mistake. Okay. The thing is, I can tell you now, this is something you need to know because it's a weird word there, but it's the same mistake, or it's not a mistake. You misheard it. The word that this person says in the Say What soundbite is not classic narcotics, los clásicos. The person is saying class A narcotics. And if I'm not, porque los van clasificando. So if I'm not mistaken, class A are like the strong ones. I'm not an expert here. There is an FYI episode on drugs, if you want to give it a listen, where we look at some of the key vocabulary around addiction, around drugs, and things like that. So the one, just so you take note, and we will look at it after, Elena and Laura, it's class A narcotics. Class A, otra vez, creo que son los más potentes. All right, amigos, let's take a look at round 2 of today's Spelling Bee. Our buddy, born to Iron Man, got it on the first go. What a feat. Y esto es la única vez que tú puedes poner a delante del sonido feet. Porque si no, estás poniendo el artículo con un plural, si es pies. So, a feat. Excellent feat, getting it on the first go. Let's see if you guys can get it on the second go. I shared the FYI episode on tennis for a reason. All right, here we go, my amigos. Good luck. We'll see if you can figure it out. The first one is SERENA space JAMEKA space WILLIAMS. The second one is ORACENE space PRICE. The third one, RICHARD space WILLIAMS. The fourth one, SAGINAW, comma, space, MICHIAN, y ahí paro. And the fifth one, COMPTON, comma, space CALIFORNIA. And the last one is ALEXIS space OHANIAN. Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughan Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughan Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovon.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughan Town. More information about Vaughan Town, Weekend Town, 1-to-1, the Disney English course, whatever you're looking for, you can go to grupovon.com/cursos destacados. A nice round of applause for Laura. Laura also got today's Spelling Bee. Wonderful job, Laura. I told you guys the ball was in your court, and there's a reason, because today we're taking a look at some tennis. I've never been very good at tennis, or never really followed it either. But I think it's cool. I think it's a cool sport nonetheless. And well, today, in the year 1999, at the turn of the century, the turn of the millennium, famous tennis star, Serena Williams won her first Grand Slam at the U.S. Open. And so I decided to take a look at things that were related to Serena Williams. Her sister, remember, in English, it's Venus, porque se pronuncia como el planeta. It's not Venus in English. It's Venus Williams and Serena Williams. So the first one was her full name, Serena Jamaica Williams. Serena Jamaica Williams. Number 2, Oracene Price. Oracene Price is her mother. Yeah, that's right. She is mother, and the next one is her father, Richard. I should say their father, if we're going to talk about both of them. So you've got Oracene Price, and you've got Richard Williams, and he's also their coach. Those of you who follow tennis, he is their coach. Let's see, what else can I tell you? The next one is Saginaw, Michigan, and Saginaw, Michigan is where they first were born in Michigan, even though they didn't grow up in Michigan. Fijaos que la CH en inglés es SH, Michigan, Chicago, Michigan, Illinois, no es Illinois, Arkansas son los que suelo oír pronunciados mal. So Saginaw, Michigan. Then they moved to Compton, California. Compton is very famous because of Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Compton and Long Beach together. Now, you know you want trouble because ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Two low down G's going crazy. Death Row is the label that pays me. This is Compton. You'll hear that you'll hear it in Eminem songs, even though he's from Michigan as well. He's from Detroit, or a Detroit suburb. And last on our list is Alex Kerry Ohanian, an Armenian internet entrepreneur and investor, and he is also the husband of Serena Williams. You can say husband or you can say spouse. Spouse doesn't specify if it's a man or a woman. So he is Serena's spouse. Imagine that. You're a famous guy, but your wife is much more famous than you, dude. Yeah, okay, you might be famous in the business world, but I'm sure if you go to a restaurant, everybody's trying to get a picture of Serena. All right, so there you go, my amigos. That was your spelling bee. I think it's time to go to the movies. Name that movie. All right, my amigos. Let's take a look and see what we've got over here in today's Name That Movie. As always, I'm going to give you guys the trailer of the movie first, and then we'll take a look at some vocabulary that we can learn from the movie as well. Here we go. 3 company workers who hate their jobs decide to rebel against their greedy boss. 3 company workers, empleados de una empresa, who hate their jobs, odian sus trabajos, decide to rebel. El verbo is to rebel. The person is a rebel. So they are rebels because they decided to rebel against their greedy boss. And the word greedy, somebody who always wants more. Avaro codicioso, somebody who wants more and more money. Greedy. A lot of times you hear people talk about corporate greed. Corporate greed. What does this mean? This means that a company will lay off, despedir, 10,000 workers, and then their CEO will get a bonus. And, the company made money that year. That's greed. That means you want more and more money. It's never enough. You're cutting corners until you've really cut the whole thing down. To cut corners is ahorrar, hacer atajos para ahorrar dinero, to cut corners. All right, let's see. Does anybody, this could be the premise of many different movies here. Let's see. Chris Valro, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for her. Excellent job, Chris Valrol. The movie is called Office Space, and it's an awesome movie, Office Space. It came out in 1999. Okay, we're talking a lot about 1999 today with Serena Williams and this movie. And I've got to be honest with you, I think at one point in my life, I knew every line in this movie. Like every nuance, cada matiz, I knew it. It's a great movie. It's created by Miguel Juez. Mike Judge. Hey, don't judge a book by its cover. No juzgues por apariencias. No, okay, all right. Does anybody recognize the name Mike Judge? Does the name Mike Judge ring a bell? Beavis and Butthead. Yeah, Beavis. Hey, Butthead. Yeah, Beavis. Beavis and Butthead, also the co-creator of King of the Hill, the famous cartoon King of the Hill. This movie stars Ron Livingston and, of course, Jennifer Aniston. She's awesome in this movie. And I've got to be honest, it's got so many memorable lines, so many cool characters. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Now, I think in Spanish, it's El Trabajo es Perros or El Trabajo Basura or something like this. El Trabajo es lo peor, something like that. In English, that's the tagline. So if you look at the poster, which I'm looking at right now, it says, work sucks. Remember, the word to suck is chupar, pero if we use it in that context, it means es lo peor, right? Chris says trabajo basura. Yeah, I guess that would be esto es un rollo. Work, el trabajo es un rollo. Work sucks. And then that's the subtitle. The title is Office Space. So Chris Valrol, I see. I don't know if you've seen the movie. Again, if you haven't seen it in English, have you really seen it? Because what makes this movie great is not that it's, wow, what an amazing premise. What a deep story. No. What makes it, well, everybody has been in a job, a dead-end job, un trabajo sin salida, a dead-end job, a job that they hate, and they're just going through the motions, and they've had, bosses they can't deal with. Everybody has dealt with that at one point or another. So what makes it relatable is that everybody's been in that situation. And then the characters, I'm telling you, I don't know if it's just because they nailed it, but I know most of these people, even the waiter, when they go to the bar, tchotchkes it's called, right next to their work, the waiter is exactly like an American waiter. He goes, hey guys, how you doing? Can I get you some pizza shoot? I mean, it's authentic. This movie is authentic and you will crack up. It's a pisser, to use the word we used before. It's a pisser. Te partes con ello. Let's see. Chris says, take this job and shove it. Yes, that's exactly. That would be a good title. Take this job and shove it. And Chris says, yes, I've watched it. I love Jennifer Aniston. Yeah, Jennifer Aniston is awesome. And she just plays this really cool, down-to-earth significa con los pies en la tierra. She plays this cool, down-to-earth worker, person. And I think that's even, I know she was big on Friends, but I think this character made me fall in love with her because it was just a very likable character. The same way the boss, Lumbergh, is not very likable. Bill Lumbergh. Okay. And there's a famous character named Milton. And Milton is basically the movie was created around this character. And this was a character, a person, a real person that Mike Judge had worked with during his days as an engineer. And he's kind of like a mousy little guy. And he said, oh, I need my stapler. Somebody took my stapler. And basically, this guy, I think everybody has worked with these people. And it's almost like The Office, too. We've all been in a similar situation. And I think those are the kind of movies that really speak to people. the ones that we can relate to, the ones that are relatable. But folks, we've got to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the scene that I've chosen for you. We've also got Double Trouble. We're going to hear our Say What soundbite again as well. Famous birthdays, name that lyric, and so much more before we wrap up antes de acabar. And right after this show, you are in luck. It's another way of saying lucky. You are in luck because you can learn English with Jimena Holiday on Test Your English. Folks, we'll be right back with the rest of today's show, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 4 of today's show with no name. Don't forget, if you're looking for courses, you can go to grupovon.com/cursos destacados. That's right, cursos destacados. And you can find out all about our amazing courses, such as our one-to-one, our master's courses. You've got your evening masters and your full-time masters. You've also got Vaughan Town and Weekend Town. Residentials. You've got something for everyone. Doesn't matter what age or what your needs may be, we've got you covered. And if you're into self-study, autoestudio, stop by our website, our bookshop, vaughantienda.com. We also have offices in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and the lovely city with La Pilarica, Zaragoza, where my favorite Spanish band is from. Déjame, que yo no tengo la culpa de verte caer. Déjame. Are they from Zaragoza? Héroes de Silencio, my favorite Spanish band. And I learned a lot of vocabulary. I didn't know the word duende before I heard maldito duende. So see, I'm always telling you guys to learn from music, but I've been doing it since I was a kid with Rafael. Where do you think, I learned ímpetu del viento? How many people walk around saying, bueno, el ímpetu, se mueve con el ímpetu del viento? People are like, oh my goodness. And I'm like, well, I had a great teacher, Rafael. All right, amigos, get ready for a challenge. It's time for Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. It is our Double Trouble section. Let me put it this way. I'll give you a little clue here. I already said this word. I said it before. Okay? Let's see if you guys get the word. I said it, I don't want to tell you when, but pretty recently. Okay, here's your Double Trouble. Now, it's not a triple trouble like yesterday, but you have to use the same word twice. It's a double trouble, okay? Nothing too crazy. Empezó a desconectarse o estar en las nubes, como no estar presente. Empezó a no estar presente, a desconectarse, a estar en las nubes, cuando le dije que era totalmente inútil. There you go. Okay? So, él empezó a desconectarse o estar en las nubes o no estar presente cuando le dije que era completamente inútil. The first part is a phrasal verb. The second one is kind of an idiomatic expression. We'll see if you guys can figure it out. Also, let's listen to our Say What soundbite. This is, I can't believe it, the fourth and final listen.
Will, I don't know if you're talking about Class A narcotics or prescribed pharmaceuticals. I mean, I have to say, back in my past, I used to drink a lot and do drugs, but I don't anymore.
Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right, amigos. More information about Vaughn groups, you can find it over at our website, grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. All right, let's see what we've got. Let's see if anybody was able to figure out today's double trouble. Empezó a desconectarse o estar en las nubes cuando le dije que era totalmente inútil. Okay, que no aportaba nada. Let's see. Chris says, bravo, AA, good performance. The heroes of silence. Oh, love them. Déjame, que yo no tengo la culpa de verte caer. Gotta love Enrique Burnbury, or como se dice. His voice is awesome. And the rest of the group. I mean, they made such great music. And there's rumors now that they're going back on tour. Anybody want to get me a good birthday present? Anybody have any contacts? Because I have a feeling it's going to be a hot ticket. There are many fans, and I think they broke up many years ago, and kind of like a Guns N' Roses thing, like it's not going to happen. But then what happens? Well, money runs out. Se agota el dinero. And you're like, well, how much did you say again for the reunion tour? And they're like, 9 big ones, 9 million or whatever the oh, you know what? We can put our differences aside. No problem. You know, we can all be friends here. Why not? That's a lot of cash. All right. Nobody knows the double trouble. I'll tell you what, let me take a look at the movie and I'll give you some more time. The movie again is Office Space, Trabajo Basura in Spanish. And this is a scene between Bob Slidell and Bob Porter. They're called the Bobs. And they're basically this these people that are called in to evaluate everybody. You know, when Vaughn used to do, I don't know if they still do it, but they used to do that. And I'm like, oh, you really want to know my opinion? You sure? Sit down. Because usually they interview you, but I'm like, I have some questions for you now. And they usually like it, but they feel like, oh, wow, wasn't ready for that. So they've got like this performance review going on. And the Bobs, it's funny, both guys' names are Bobs. And they're talking to Dom Porter. And Bob says, I'll just say Bob 1 and Bob 2. Bob says, Milton Wadhams. Milton, again, is the guy, the little mousy guy who's like, they stole my stapler again. I don't know why, but and then Dom says, who's he? ¿Quién es él? ¿Quién es ese? And Bob says, a squirrely looking guy. Mumbles a lot. And squirrely, how would you say it here? Squirrely. How would you translate squirrely? Because a squirrel is a, what's the word in Spanish? I got to turn on my bilingual brain here. A squirrel is ardilla, pero a squirrel is la ardilla gris. A chipmunk is la que tiene Alvin, Alvin and the Chipmunks. So you call both of those ardillas, right? So if somebody is squirrely, well, obviously it's como una ardilla, squirrely. And if you're squirrely, well, you're restless, you're nervous, you're unpredictable. ¿Habéis visto ardillas? They don't stand still for a second. They move around. They're nervous creatures. It's not like a cat or a dog that'll just sit on the sofa for a while. No, this thing, they jump and run around all over the place. So nervous, restless. So, squirrely looking guy. He mumbles a lot. To mumble is to talk like this, to not really open your mouth when you speak. And then Dom says, oh, yeah. And then Bob 1 says, yeah, well, we can't actually find a record of him being a current employee here. Fíjate, actual y current in la misma frase. It was one of the false friends we looked at. So, yeah, we can't actually, realmente, we can't find a record, un registro, a record of him being a current employee, un empleado, aquí. O sea, he's not on the payroll, no está en nómina. And Bob says, I looked into it more deeply. Lo investigué con más profundidad. I looked into it more deeply, and I found that apparently what happened is that he was laid off. We looked at that, to lay off, despedir. He was laid off 5 years ago, and no one ever told him about it. Y nadie se lo contó. He goes, but through some kind of glitch, a glitch es un fallo, some kind of glitch in the payroll department, en nóminas, ¿no? En el departamento donde preparan las nóminas, he still gets a paycheck. Pues sigue recibiendo una nómina. And Bob says, so we just went ahead and fixed the glitch. Pues nosotros nos hemos adelantado y hemos arreglado ese error. And Bill says, oh, great. So Dom says, so Milton has been let go? To let somebody go is another way of saying to fire them, to lay them off, to let them go. Esa me encanta. Te dejamos ir. We're going to let you go. Así es, eh? You're fired. You're canned. And so he says, so Milton has been let go? Despedido? And Bob says, whoa, just a second there, professor. Un segundito, profesor. Como he says, we fixed the glitch. No? He said, so he won't be receiving a paycheck anymore. So it'll just work itself out naturally. So, o sea, no va a recibir nómina ya y pues ya se solucionará a lo natural, sin problemas, sin nada. And Bob number 2 says, we always like to avoid confrontation. Okay, enfrentamientos. We always like to avoid confrontation whenever possible. Problem is solved from your end. No, tú ya no tienes que hacer nada. So it's a pretty crazy conversation there. And again, it's a really good movie. If you haven't seen it, it's cool. It's cool. The soundtrack, the characters are very, very memorable as well. All right, let's see if anybody got our double trouble. Laura's taken a stab at it. And she says he stared to space. He stared into space. Pondríamos el en ahí. He stared into space when I told him that he was a waste of space. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Laura. Wow. He stared into space. No, I got it. He stared to space. I got you. Okay, Laura, it was a typo there. You wanted to say he started to space out. Pero claro, como falta una T, yo vi stared into. Se fijó con la mirada al espacio. Gotcha. All right. So he started to space out. To space out is no estar presente. Man, you're spacing out. Hello, we're here. We're here. Where are you going? Eso es cuando dices Earth to Laura, Earth to, digo Laura porque acabo de leer tu nombre. La Tierra a Laura, right? So he started to space out when I told them that he was a waste of space. Yeah, alguien que es inútil, que no vale para nada, is a waste. It's pretty rude, but, you know, this guy's a waste of space. O sea, un mal uso del espacio. And remember I said it was linked to a word I said before? The name of the movie is Office Space. So to space out means to not be present, right? Your head goes into the clouds. You start to daydream. And if somebody is a waste of space, well, that person is totally useless. So excellent job there, Laura. Elena says, I'll take a bash. Elena, there's a totally native. I'll take a try. Another way, a totally native way to say it. I'll take a bash. I'll have a go. And she says, he began to goof off when I told him he was a goof. Good job. It's not, because a goof is más un payaso. Right? Like if you're a goof, you're always joking around. And to goof off is to be lazy. It can be similar. It's not exactly the same, but excellent effort. To goof off es hacer el vago. Right? So are you goofing off? Come on, man. We've got a lot of work to do. Stop being a goof and joking around. So great words that you use there, but it's just a little bit different. Wonderful job to all of you. And I'll tell you what, we've got a birthday to get to. It's time for famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All right, my amigos, welcome to Famous Birthdays here on the show with no name. Let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. Now, remember, tomorrow we got a really special birthday. My baby, she's going to be 5 years old tomorrow. I can't believe she's been a part of my life for 5 years now. And I can't even imagine my life without this little monster that I live with. She's awesome. So tomorrow we'll be celebrating my daughter's 5th birthday here on the show. And well, she's been celebrating it all month. As you know, when you're younger, you celebrate it all month. All right, let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. Today, the first birthday boy was born in 1971, and he's a million different people from one day to the next. He can't change his mold. No, 'cause it's a bittersweet symphony this life. I love this group. I know I'm not singing it right. Well, that's why they're famous singers and I'm not. The group is called The Verve, and he is the lead singer of this group, the English group called The Verve that formed in 1989. He's also the lead songwriter. And I've got to be honest with you, I think urban hymns, himnos urbanos, I think that is one of the most amazing albums ever. And I don't like Brit pop. I hate Oasis. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. Hey, more tickets for you, okay? I can't take Oasis. However, I love these guys. But Oasis also loves these guys. So I consider these guys probably one of the greatest current, because they're not really releasing albums. The last one, well, they've gotten awards and things like this. Well, listen, speaking of Oasis, Noel Gallagher of Oasis said that this guy is a genius, quote unquote genius. And the guy in Coldplay, Chris Martin, said that this guy is the best singer in the world. Whoa, that's pretty crazy. I've only seen the Verve once. I saw them at Summer Case, I think it was called. It was in Boadilla del Monte, and it was awesome. They were totally amazing. The Verve. And if you haven't heard Urban Hymns, it's just got one great song after another one. All right, number 2. This person was born in 1940 and se lleva la palma. Bueno, that's his last name. Palma. De Palma. I've given you that one. An American director and screenwriter. He directed Carrie, Dress to Kill, Scarface. Love that movie, Scarface. The Untouchables, Mission Impossible 1, which was in 1996, Carlito's Way, and so many other awesome movies. And last but not least, this person was born in 1965, an American singer, songwriter, musician, and DJ. And this guy, he's big on animal rights. He's not only promoting his albums, but he's out there also. He's a vegan and probably one of the first big celebrities to, come out and say, I'm a vegan. I don't eat animal products. And so he started out, an interesting thing is, even though now he's known as a DJ producer, he started out in like the punk scene. He had a lot of really, really like more rock and roll songs. But then in 1989, he turned to, well, in the 80s, the mid 80s, he turned to electronic dance music. And that's where he hit his gold mine. His single from 1991 is called Go. And that was kind of his breakthrough. I'm sure you know it. Let's see. We've got a winner here. Give it up for Chris Valrol. Number 1, Richard Ashcroft from The Verve. Number 2, director Brian De Palma. And number 3, Richard Melville Hall. Okay, you know him as Moby, the artist Moby. And that's going to bring us to our Say What soundbite. This is Moby, and he was answering questions from fans. And they said, do you do any drugs? Do you take any drugs? And he goes, well, I don't know if you're talking about Class A narcotics. As I said, Class A, probably the most dangerous ones, or prescribed pharmaceuticals, recetados. I have to say, back in my past, I used to drink, antes bebía. I used to drink a lot and do drugs, but I don't anymore. Let's hear it straight from birthday boy Moby.
Well, I don't know if you're talking about Class A narcotics or prescribed pharmaceuticals. I have to say, back in my past, I used to drink a lot and do drugs, but I don't anymore.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
Hey, folks, that applause is for you. That applause is for you, amigos. What a wonderful job you've done again today. You always go the extra mile. And as I always say, I couldn't ask for better students. So thanks for all the effort and the energy you put into learning English. I, as your teacher, as one of your teachers, totally appreciate your effort. Keep it up. And you can tell, se nota, you can tell that you guys are making progress. All right. And today's song is by The Verve. I said The Verve. Instead of giving you the one everybody knows, which is Bittersweet Symphony, I'm going to give you one called Sonnet. And it's a beautiful song about love or the lack of love. La carencia de amor. And a sonnet is como suena, soneto. 14 líneas, a poem with 14 lines. Let's take a look at the lyrics and then we can sing it together. You can bring it up on your screen. Look for Sonnet by The Verve, okay? And it starts out, my friend and me, mi amigo y yo, mi amiga, looking through her red box of memories, mirando, registrando por su caja roja de recuerdos. Faded, I'm sure. Faded. Ha perdido su color, right? If something is faded, desvanecido, it loses its luster. Faded, I'm sure. But love seems to stick in her veins, you know. But love seems to stick in her veins, you know. Se queda en sus venas. Yes, there's love if you want it. Don't sound like no sonnet, my Lord. Yes, there's love if you want it. Hay amor si quieres. Y está diciendo, eso no me suena romántico. There's love if you want it. Don't sound like no sonnet. Let's give it a listen. It's an amazing song by one of my favorite bands, The Verve. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll be back tomorrow with more. Ciao for now. Ximena Holiday up next with Test Your English.